Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to RockRemedy.com. I'm Meredith Molinari in studio today with HR, chatting about his new album, Hey Wella, which is out October 21st. Don't forget. We've been chatting about DC Hardcore and how you got hooked up with them. How long were you in the studio recording this album?
Well, I had talked with Abe, who was just so nice and lovely in assisting us with in the apprenticeship and making sure the arrival of our loving loved ones was considered and properly placed proper. We got a room and then we came straight over here. He came to me a few months ago and we briefly talked on the phone, but he did explain to us that he had a few more preparations to do, Mr. Abe. So while he was preparing that, we went and began practicing on the tunes, Hey Wella, and All the Happy People. Well, we played it one way about 2 years ago, but then we went and re-recorded it and kept on recording until we finally came up with compositions that we knew beyond a shadow of a doubt the kids would absolutely go bananas for.
I want to talk a little bit about your appearance with American Hardcore, which I thought was a really great documentary. If you guys haven't seen it and you're into music just in general, definitely take a chance and go see it. When were you approached about appearing in American Hardcore?
Samuel Baer, along with Nicola Landsberg, and a friend by the name of Mr. Lucien, approached us in '79 at the 930 Club, the old 930 Club.
Right, where they redid it all.
And Paul and Pierre began to do some work with Grant in the obtainment of documentation. Well, little by little, the group improved, but we kept on changing our name, image, everything. It was always up in the air when we were going to play, when we would perform, and that was because of the approvability of the listeners. So our manager advised us, Mr. County advised us, in order to get an A+ response, because we were A+ individuals, he would rather us be a little more patient, interact with the kids, get more experience, and then when the right time comes, and he will assist us, and he still is working with us, and we're waiting now for a final response from the majors. We think Vicon is going to be the one to pull it off for us. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Were you happy with the results of American Hardcore when it came out? Did you feel like it showed that punk scene at that time in history in the right light?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it really was that chaotic. Because I mean, I unfortunately was only born in '80,
yes,
beginning of the '80s, and so I missed out on some of that firsthand. But when you hear people tell stories about what was going on at the 930 Club at that time, or what was going on at CBGB's, it's like you think they're pulling your leg.
Yes, ma'am. They were very competitive in those days. Bands were coming out every 5 minutes. SOA, Minor Threat, Fugazi, Teen Idols. Every 5 minutes there was a Scream, Peep, Skeeter, and then the Beefeater, and then that was it. After Beefeater came out, everybody was like, well, let's just have a band called the Butthole Surfers or something. Nerds.
Anything goes.
Anything goes. I said, okay. Relax, kids. We're going to give you something a little more conscious and comprehensible.
Absolutely, and I think it's a good thing that you bring that point up, because Billy Joe of Green Day brings up a very good point. He said that a lot of punk bands, and I'm paraphrasing, but a lot of punk bands at that time, the feeling was a lot of apathy and a lot of loneliness, whereas with the Bad Brains' lyrical content, there was a lot of hope in it. Where did you guys bring that hope from? Does that come from the reggae roots? Is reggae music about hope?
Yes, ma'am, it is. It did come from the reggae influence. And the lyrics, the message itself, had been preached to us from our mother and father from birth. And I give them the sole credit because we were church people. And my father used to sing and still does in the church. And my mother as well. And that's what eventually I grew out of those old rebellious ways.
Right. You grew up. Very cool. All right, well, stick around. We're going to be right back with more with me, your host, Meredith Molinari, and HR here today on RockRemedy.com. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.